The day is almost over. We're well into the second week of our quarantine. I am here at the Jesuit residence where about 30 of us Jesuits have been staying. I would just like to tell you that we've been praying with you for the world. I'd also like to offer some reflections on what we are being asked to do or who we are being asked to become during this time of trial. I hope you don't mind if I just read from what I have written. First, I think we're being asked to come close again to one another, to learn to face each other, to care for each other. And that means listening to each other, becoming silent so that we can let the other person speak to us. Many times, not just in words. Second, we're being summoned to come home again. Come home. These days, we are recovering and rediscovering the value of home again. And family is that time and place of many firsts in our lives. Family is where we first learn to walk, first with the hands of our parents, where we learn to feed, first from the nearness of our mothers. This is where we first learn to love and laugh and play. Family is where we were hurt, where we got angry, where we learned to forgive. We have time now to come home again. Third, we're being asked to remember and to take care of those outside our family. As we are invited to come home again, we are being asked to remember and open our hearts to those who have no home, the poor in our midst, the poor who must huddle together, for whom social distancing must be strange, the elderly, the widow, and the orphan, and the stranger, the children who have always roamed our streets, the lonely, those who have no one in their lives, the ones who are grieving the loss of their loved ones. Fourth, we are being called to live a life of greater solidarity in the world today. We do not know if this crisis will make the world more unequal or equal, whether this will bring us together or push us apart. We do not know. What we know is, before this virus hit us, we were already being contaminated by a contagion of indifference and negativity and hate. But now we also see signs of goodness, signs of kindness, people reaching out in many places in the world today. These are little vaccines that immunize us from selfishness and separation. Fifth and last, we're being asked to learn to pray again. You know, family is where we learn to pray too. Perhaps somewhere along the way we lost faith. Now is the time to learn to pray again. It is not difficult. Prayer is something so human. So I hope we can learn to pray again together. Before meals, after meals, when we wake up. I often tell married couples to learn to pray, not just to God, but to one another. We can learn to pray to each other. Prayer takes so much humility. It takes so much divestment to beg from each other. Perhaps children can learn to pray to their parents and parents to their children as well. Let us learn to pray again. To end, I have a real personal experience. Once in a wedding, I got hit. I collapsed. Of all times and places, a wedding. People thought I was having a stroke or a heart attack. As they were bringing me to the hospital, I was thinking, is this it? And I thought, oh boy, I thought I was invincible. I thought I was resilient. I thought I was strong. And then I realized my life hangs on this thin thread, isang sinulid. And that thread could just, anytime, any second, that thread could be cut. As they brought me to the hospital, I saw this line of doctors and nurses waiting. Brought me to the ER, the ICU. And I thought, yes, my life hangs on a thin thread, but these doctors, these nurses are threads too. Life is many threads. Days after, a few moments after, my brother Jesuits came to visit, my family, friends, my classmates. And I thought, these people, these are threads. They are threads in our lives. And we hang on to them, they carry us. Now is the time, I guess, to gather all these threads. Some of these unravel along the way, some get tied up in knots, but some threads stay strong. Let us gather these threads and weave something that can carry us through. Of all the threads that bind us, on which we hang our lives, I think there is one thread that will never unravel, that will never be knotted, that will never be cut. That is God's thread to us. Let us believe that that thread is strong, strong enough to carry us through. God bless us. God bless us to be strong in life and love during this time of quarantine and beyond. Thank you.